Welcome back to the Sakuga Builds cast.
What's so funny about that?
Nothing. I always get to start off. It's great. I'm Daniel Lewa,
I
joined by
literally always do the intro.
you. Did it like what, one time in the last month? So
Okay, guys. Daniel's in Mexico, so I do apologize if the audio's a little worse.
the audio's great. I have a great microphone. I'm set.
You're set? Okay, what's your favorite set of the week?
This is the set of the week.
Oh,
Check
you got
this out.
you got a whole set of the week.
Yeah.
So my question is, does that set come with Moaning Myrtle?
No, but it does come with what is my minifigure of the week, which is this amazing thing. Have you ever seen this before?
Oh gosh.
It's cursed.
That's way actually awesome. I actually never seen that.
This is crazy. Look at this new piece I've never seen. It's like a cup with
The transition.
it's dual molded, so it's translucent green and translucent white, clear. And it's a
So
single
to
piece.
describe the set for people who are listening and the minifigure.
This set I have not finished building it yet because actually it's not mine. It's my girlfriend's. I bought it for her.
Wait, you have a girlfriend?
She loves Harry Potter. She loves Harry Potter, and so I got her this set. She really thought it looked really awesome. She doesn't have any Harry Potter sets. The other set that she has is this one, the Friends set, which is awesome, with Phoebe and all of her buddies. But those are very different.
Friends is just weird. I'm gonna be honest.
It's great if you are a fan of the show, then you can get the set and be a huge fan of that.
Yeah, but like I think I said in a previous podcast, it was like Ideas podcast or something. I'm a huge fan of Office and Parks and Rec, but I feel like that's a set of those wouldn't even be that interesting.
Not even the minifigures of like the Dwight Schrute.
No, like I guess
Kevin.
it'd be cool to have it, but it's not that crazy of a minifigure compared to like Ahsoka Tano, Forlom, Venom, Iron
it's
Venom.
not- But I mean, okay, I'll describe this minifigure because this is an awesome minifigure. This is the Hermione Cat Mistake minifigure from Harry Potter 2, The Chamber of Secrets, from set, what is this, 76386 Hogwarts Polyjuice Potion Mistake, which is really cool. It's part of the new modular line of Harry Potter sets that can all kind of combine together. This is the only one we've ever got from that series, but we're excited to build it and to see what other surprises it has in store for true Harry Potter fans.
So did you just pull out the minifigure?
Yep. No, I was like, all right, we need, because we got this set earlier today, and I'm like, oh, we're doing the podcast, and she was like, oh, we should just get the minifigure out.
Yeah, the dual molded like cup thing. I've seen that recently with like it's a vial or like a little alchemy glass. It's that same color where it's a clear with the juice inside of it is the green, but it's cool you have it in the cup form. I was just wondering why that set doesn't have Moaning Myrtle, because I feel like she was a big part of that scene in the movie.
I believe Moaning Myrtle does come in one of this year's sets, but I'll check that real quick. But it's cool. I thought this was going to be a totally molded head as far as like the Lego video heads where they all pop off, but no.
Oh.
It's a hair, and what's really cool about this cat hair combo is that I had it a second ago, but it matches the hair of Hermione. It's the same on the back. Check this out. Literally, they made it match. It's the same exact mold.
Wow. I wish Star Wars got that kind of love.
Well, you and a lot of other people, but it's a really cool minifigure with the Slytherin shirt and everything, tan wand, all the good stuff, and the short legs because they're kids basically in that show, in that movie.
Speaking of Star Wars, I do have my minifigure of the week, and
let's see.
It is the Spider Droid UCS from 2008. I was scared. I mean, he's not a minifigure, but he is it is a droid. There's no one piloting it.
Yeah.
I actually just have, on that same topic, the droid that comes with the AAT, the green one.
It's beautiful.
I forgot the actual technical name for it. I don't know if it was like a range droid or something. I think you know.
No,
There's an actual like technical name for it, or it's just the pilot. But I think it's super cool with the printing. But like you said, they've been doing the same droid format for a while. But I feel like it just works better, you know. Like it's obviously and droids. I don't know. I think the model works, and I feel like droids don't really change. You know, we get new kinds of lightsabers all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just how I feel about that.
And I think it's okay, yeah, that they've been using those molds for 20 years now because the droids themselves are so skeletal in nature that in order to reduce the detail any further, you would have to just have one single molded part.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's kind of the smallest you can go in order to have those fine details, and it works just fine.
Yeah.
And those especially the arms, but the bodies as well, appear in a lot of other sets. Surprisingly, they're very versatile. I hardly ever see the legs appear in any other sets as kind of regular bricks, but the body and the legs I do see, or arms I do see pop up time to time.
Yeah, I see it a lot. Like it's kind of fun. Like in the spider droid, it comes with the crab droid, the crab droid that includes those little body. Each of his hands has the droid body, so I think it really works because yeah, they're really skeletal. There's not much more you could do to simplify it. The super battle droids are just 2 molds plus the arms. I don't know. I think it works, but I'm still salty about the Lego Star Wars lightsabers. And one other thing I did want to mention is at first when you built the Bad Batch shuttle, I thought the minifigures were cool. The more that I'm with this set, the more that I see this set, I think how bad these minifigures are.
What? Really? That's surprising. Okay, explain yourself.
I think it was Echo. I think Echo's the one that broke the straw on the camel's back for real. Because I literally completely blanked it when you were building the set. I literally completely blanked he had a screwdriver hand. Until like a week later, I'm like, wait. Or I think I saw a TikTok or something. It was like, purest ways to improve the Bad Batch or whatever. And I was like, wait, he literally has a screwdriver hand. So the fact that they didn't do, I mean, they printed the arm, they did a different colored hand for him, I guess. But really, that just doesn't make sense to me. There's this Aquaman type minifigure. I'm not a huge DC guy, so I don't know exactly what his name was, but it was in the DC superhero CMF, and he has a custom hand thing. Completely custom to his thing. It's like a little spike claw type thing, only for that minifigure. It's a hand piece. I'm like, bro, Echo can't get this. I'll tell you this much: Echo got as much love in his minifigure as he did as a character on the show. Okay,
that's very valid. In the final episode, he said basically 0 words, and so Lego's like, all right, yeah. But if they were going with the screen time to detail ratio, then Omega would have been a minifigure. She would have had a custom molded laser bow and like 2 different hair pieces pre and after joining the Bad Batch.
Omega, yeah. Well, she would be I'm glad they didn't include that minifigure. I mean, maybe we'll see her in another Bad Batch set. I wouldn't be surprised if there was another one. Because still, the shuttle sold out, right? Right?
The shuttle, yeah, is hard to find in a lot of places. Yeah, it's so popular right now.
I don't think that's on the level as the Mandalorian shuttle, right? Because that's back ordered for ages.
That one is really popular. That one's really back ordered.
But yeah,
super cool.
Here's something I want to bring up because I made my own custom little. I just was messing around with Echo's hand. I put the agent's arm on it. It's like the robotic arm, and put a tiniest like peg piece I could find. It's just like a lightsaber piece, but like a third of the size basically. And it looked okay, but it's still too long to be Echo's hand. But it's just disappointing. The show has so much potential, and the set had a lot of potential, but
I thought the set did a great job. I remember when I first saw the pictures for the Bad Batch show, I'm like, what the heck is this? Like blue and everything. And then after watching the show, I'm like, this is really faithful, pretty much.
Yeah.
Except for the kind of the angular windscreen, they kind of approximated that as a curve, which engineers and mathematicians do all the time too. So it's fine, but it's great. And I think this little speeder side builds do add something to the set. This green one especially is very different from any other Star Wars speeder we've seen before. So I am definitely not complaining that we got those nicely built little side builds. And then
Cad
there's
Bane speeder.
I just pulled up the picture of Aquaman from the DC minifigure CMF, and literally he has, I've never seen this before, a custom molded piece that is sized to fit in the minifigure hand, like wrist spot. That's so uncommon. It's such a small pin, but it looks great. That would have been amazing.
I think I saw other people mention that as well to Lego or something, like, oh, you literally made this for this character, but we know with that Marvel CMF interview lady that they want to make the CMF these art pieces, quote unquote. They have to, sell themselves. So I see why they, can rationalize that. But come on. Echo, I don't know. I feel like he's an important character. He's been all Clone Wars. Now he's in another series as a main character now. He's, had more screen time than any other Bad Batch people because he's been in the Clone Wars before. So maybe he has a little bit more screen time. But still, like, come on. Like, really? Really?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I am just grateful. The fact that we got all 5 of the quote-unquote main characters of the Bad Batch and they're all pretty decently detailed, all things considered. Only one new mold amongst all of them, but all new prints and everything in a single set. That's awesome and pretty unprecedented for them to ever do. So I'm grateful at least for that. And if we only have one Bad Batch set, I'm glad it's this one. With the second season coming out and confirmed for, I believe, next year. At least it's confirmed to be in production, but probably coming out next year. I'm sure we'll see at least 1 or maybe 2 more things. I don't know what they'll do, but I'd love to see Fennec Shand or Cad Bane come back, or even, well, we're getting Fennec Shand in the Moff Gideon ship, but Omega is for sure one that we'd want. And also, this is to represent all of our lovely favorite side quest missions, Sid minifigure.
I'd rather have Sid minifigure. I think I saw someone make a mock of Sid with Bosk's head or some. I don't know, but
so different.
Yeah, like you said about the Bad Batch, if that's the only one we get, it's pretty good, and it gives a lot of like purist people a lot of materials for all those minifigures if they want to improve on them. So it gives you the prints and stuff you couldn't really make yourself. Well, maybe some people, the bootleggers.
When I was so watching the finale, talk about that. Spoilers, just in case you haven't watched Bad Batch finale yet, because it ties into Lego as well. But another minifigure that would be really awesome to see would be Admiral Rampart, who is the derpiest. Like, I swear that they were just like, let's make the most generic possible random old guy and have him be this Imperial baddie. And then, he's played a major role in the series, and that would be a really great minifigure. And some sort of Camino display piece or playset or something that is representative of how that looks. We've never seen that in Lego form before, and that has become such an iconic location, especially from Attack of the Clones, but then repeatedly in Clone Wars and now Bad Batch. It's such a cool location that if you had a little display piece or playset, maybe reminiscent of like the Cloud City set or something like that, that would be super cool, especially for people who grew up with Attack of the Clones and Clone Wars, who are getting older and adults now.
Well, I just think they should do a UCS attack on Camino, that story arc from the Clone Wars where General Grievous attacks Camino. You remember that? And that's actually, I think that's one of the first times we see not the original Clone 99, the old kind of defective guy. I remember in that story arc he was placing bombs or something, but the Clone Wars has so many cool story arcs. It's just crazy. But yeah, Camino type set would be cool. I don't think we had like a Camino and minifigure in a while.
We've never had a Kaminoan minifigure.
Oh, okay.
It's only you're thinking of Lego Star Wars the
Yeah.
video game. That's the only place they've shown up.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, because I recently played Lego Star Wars, so that's
Uh-huh.
what I was like. I was like, maybe there is one, but I just haven't seen one. So that would be really cool. There's lots of possibilities.
I feel like with that, it would have been really hard to do with minifigure technology leading up to now. But now, as they've shown with video, especially, the minifigs are on such another level. You can do dual molded with rubber as well as plastic, stuff like that. Because like with such a long neck, I could see that being an issue. If you kind of mold that with rubber and then have the head be the harder plastic or rubber as well, I think you could really achieve
Yeah,
a
maybe
pretty
you
good
could have
look for
like
a Kamino.
plastic in the skeleton, then rubber around it so it's stable, or I don't know. I
Oh,
feel like
that's
it could work, but we see a lot of love with the minifigures, but we don't see a lot of love with the Star Wars minifigures. So
because they'll
I
sell. They don't. They'll sell without having to be S tier. That's why.
that made me think of another thing I wanted to say, which I mentioned to you previously, is that this new What If series episode 1 came out on Wednesday. Um,
Yes,
you watched it, right?
I did. Uh huh.
Okay. So I'll give my original thoughts on just the TV show. We talk about the shows a bit, but no spoiler alert if you haven't seen episode 1 of What If. But I just kind of thought it's kind of like just mainly the writing kind of killed me a lot. The writing was kind of sketchy.
Really?
Well, if you especially if you rewatch it, I watched it a second time, and just if you listen to the lines, like because the first time you're watching it, it's like this big adventure from beginning to end, the whole Captain America 1 in the 30 minutes. So some of the writing's kind of sussy, and the one thing that Lego related that I want to mention was the Hydra Stomper set from What If has Captain Carter and her Union Jack suit, but it's just silver and blue. Okay. And then her CMF one is red, white, and blue Union Jack thing. And I was like, is there going to be both in the show? But it's only that red, white, and blue one. So
That we've seen so far.
well, yeah, who knows? Who knows? She might get a new suit, but the set is the Hydra Stomper. That's not even now. She's to the present day. They're not gonna have the Hydra Stomper no more. So I don't know about that, and I don't want to be like a purist or anything. If it was like Captain Carter was more of a comic book character, because she's really just made for this show. Really, she's not like Captain Britain or anything. Then it would be okay. It's like this is an adaptation of something. But when it's based directly off the show, it's like it seems a little bit off, especially because then they got it right. But I'm not complaining too much. It was just a little odd to me because I was speculating, is she going to have these two suits? But that one's just not in the show.
Yeah, I know. I noticed that too, and I don't know where the designers got this stealth suit from because we researched it and it doesn't really appear anywhere that we could find in comics or otherwise. So either it appears later in the show, or it was something that they came up with where they're like, okay, we definitely want to have a more premium, like the Union Jack version from the show in the CMF series, and we'll have kind of a slightly watered down one here. Granted, it looks great. I think it looks really nice. It's
That's
really cool.
literally the exact reason. What you just said. That's literally the exact reason. That's literally the exact reason. Is
Yeah. Wow.
The perfection one
Yes.
is in the CMF, which is okay with. I'm okay with, but it makes kind of the Hydra Stomper set seem like kind of just like the Red Skull for me because Steve Rogers was derpy in the show, and that silver and blue one is like a Winter Soldier Captain America type suit.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's kind of cool, but I don't know if it was like, I don't know.
I think this is actually a pretty faithful set generally, as far as the shaping and everything of the mech. It's a little too bright green. Maybe a sand green could be better.
Yeah.
You could have gotten away also with just a darker or light bluish gray, and that would have worked as well, but that's not quite as eye-catching. And the fact that we have the Ironmonger Mayhem set on the market right now as well, it also wouldn't really work altogether. So the fact that we have three distinct mechs right now in the current Marvel wave, with this one, Tony Stark's Sicarian Hulkbuster Iron Man suit, and Ironmonger Mayhem. They do contrast each other nicely, and so we can give this one a pass for being maybe a lot brighter than how it is portrayed in the show.
I would probably rank them. Granted, I don't have any three of them, but preconceptually, I'd probably say Sicarian is the lowest one. Then, actually, I don't know, but I would say Ironmonger's on the top for sure because the three minifigures it has, it's 3 for 3 on cool minifigures. Like Obadiah Stane, I think is super dope. Pepper Potts is cool to have, and then not Mark 1 Iron Man, but Mark 4, his first Iron Man 1 suit. That's just super cool. And the actual build itself, it's playable, it's displayable, and it's iconic, and it's Iron Man 1. And that's like super, super cool set. But yeah, it's like the year of the mechs for Marvel. There's three. We'll have to see how the Sicarian Iron Man episode goes. Because sometimes with these sets, it depends on the show for me. Because they remind me of the show. Like, would I get this Spider Droid if I didn't love it the 2 seconds it had in Attack of the Clones? Probably not. But if, what if the Star-Lord episode this week is trash?
Is that the next one?
I think it's episode 2 is Star-Lord.
That's awesome.
Black Panther. But if it's trash, are you even going to want the CMF anymore? Like, I don't know.
Well, I think as far as these mechs go, the whatever it's called, the Hydra Stomper, is much more to scale with how it is in the show than the Ironmonger is to how in its movie.
Yeah.
I think that one is a lot larger than how it appears in the movie, but how it looks is phenomenal as far as representing its on-screen depiction.
But actually, when I rewatched Iron Man, I actually underestimated how big Ironmonger was. He's like
really?
He's a hefty guy. But yeah, they definitely made it, like, if Iron Man was a big fig scale that height, then their comparison would be kind of accurate actually. So I don't know, I'm a big fan of the build, but it does look a lot like him, so it's cool display. I don't know, you need to talk about something Ninjago or Monkey Kid. We can't talk about Marvel and Star Wars. That's only the stuff I like.
Literally, we spent so long last week talking about Monkey Kid, longest episode yet, so it's okay if we give that pass for a little bit.
But you got the I don't think you even really talked about the Temple of the Endless Sea, the Hydra Bounty, the video sets you got.
Yeah, so as part of the new wave of August releases in the US, the new Ninjago Seabound sets came out, and I've been looking forward to those since they were announced, which was really early. It was April or May when they were announced. Just after the Island sets had come out in March. So it was really soon. And I was just blown away by the Hydra Bounty in particular because of how sleek and how beautiful it was. And I was worried that maybe I'd get disappointed because there have been times where I've gone to set and it's been like, oh, okay, it was cool, but it's not like the coolest thing ever. But this one was actually cooler in person. It's so long. So the Hydra Bounty is basically like Destiny's Bounty, but if it was underwater, and a submarine, and it's so sleek. The color choice is perfect with the white, black, translucent blue, and gold, and they complement each other so nicely. It's just so satisfying to look at. It's one of those things where it's just you can't get sick of looking at it. And not only does it look nice, but it's so functional. The space shuttle bay doors that are on the top can open up, and you can fit 2 of the little submarines. Any combination of the 2 submarines that the Ninja use from any of the Seabound sets fit in there really snugly. It comes with multiple hair pieces for some of the Ninja, a little robot Woobots, a robot mech you can drive. Well, that can be piloted. That is detachable from the nose of the submarine. So all of these little things, all of these Easter eggs. Shout out to Nick van Slagmaat, the designer, for just stuffing it full of so many fun details. It's playable, it's displayable, the build was satisfying, and those are the 3 things that matter for me in a build.
And minifigures.
Oh well, yeah, the
It doesn't
minifigures,
matter.
of
You didn't
course.
mention it.
No, it
No, you didn't even.
doesn't
It doesn't even matter.
matter.
You didn't mention it. I,
No, but like there were just so many cool things. It comes with all six ninja in their Seabound suits, and Prince Kalmar, and some of the Mare guards. So a pretty good deal,
I think
if you
that's
ask
like
me.
the apex for adult fan of Lego sets. The 10 out of 10 ones are super displayable
Hmm.
with the play features. Like you could display that set really well. How nice looking it is, and then it has all the fun with it. Like you could play with it like a kid, and it has all the stuff. And so you reach that apex with the Daily Bugle and that set where it's looks super good on display and it's super fun and has the minifigures. That's when it becomes like the 11 out of 10, 10 out of 10. You know, because me honestly, I'm not a fan of sets that are only display really. Like I love the Venom and Carnage bust because they're awesome, but they're purely display. There's no features, no nothing, no minifigures. So it's lacking in that regard. So it can't be a 10 out of 10 in my eyes, really. Granted, I still enjoyed them super much, but it's not on like the S plus tier, you know?
That's so true. And I feel like for every fan, people come to Lego for different reasons, and people enjoy it in different ways. And it's age dependent, it's experience dependent. Like a baby, yeah, they're gonna get their Duplo or their 4 plus set, and they're gonna play with it and whatever. Have a lot more, maybe more imaginative play type stuff like that. As you grow up, a little more transitioning into enjoying of the build and the display. So, for instance, our grandpa just barely finished building the Saturn V rocket and had a great time with it. It took him like 20 plus hours to finish the whole thing over multiple days or a week or so. And for him, what was so enjoyable was the build and seeing all of the details come together and having that kind of interaction, that tactile interaction with the brick. I think that's very important for a lot of people. And so thought on the designer's part needs to be taken into account when putting how do things come together. And then after that it's you can put on display and it looks awesome and you can enjoy after the fact.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
shout out grandpa. Shout out grandpa and grandma. Like he's crazy for building that. I'll play. I'm gonna link. I'm gonna play that video on the outro of his little the review of the set. He's holding the huge giant rocket. But yeah, shout out to him for becoming a. I don't know if it's an AFOL or a senior fan of Lego, but adult fan of Lego, senior fan of Lego. Shout out my grandma as well, who just recently got into it building the Jurassic World set. They're just so cute with their new sets. But yeah, if you're listening, go to the YouTube channel. On the outro, we'll show Grandpa with his rocket. But yeah,
yeah.
it's what he likes, and you know that could be the apex set for him. You know, I'm sure it has some few features as well. Maybe I'm sure it has some detachable stuff.
Probably. I think it comes with like a mini lunar lander and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it is interesting how some people we've met a lot of people in our family or close relations who had never touched Lego before or had never been interested. I think depending on your age or just your experiences, your perception of what it is can be very different. And like, it's a kid's toy, or it's, just for babies, or it's just for like obsessed collectors or something like that. And I think what's been nice is, at least in our case, being able to share the hobby and see other people open up to it in their own way, whether it's through properties or licensed things or movies that they've seen and that they can relate to, or whether it's just the joy of building something and displaying, like you were saying. I think once people just try and find their niche, there's enjoyment to be had for pretty much anyone. And as they continue to make more and more, especially like 18 plus sets that are meant for adults or for people who are not traditional Lego fans, I think that'll continue to help spread the love a little more for that.
And the more you like, the more there's to complain about.
Exactly. Exactly. Do you have something you want to complain about?
I already did a guy complaining about, Echo and Captain Carter and all that. Um, there's always stuff to complain about, and there's always stuff to like cry that you want to be made into fruition. But yeah, so many. It's just crazy how popular Lego is. Like with my coworkers today, we're having our lunch together in the conference room, and we're talking about Lego, and it's
No way.
just everyone like. There's a mom. She has her kids all love Lego. They just can't, sort it into bins. And then this other guy's a dad. He's like, oh, my son, he likes to build and put it back apart. So the one coworker's more my age. She's like, oh, me and my husband, we like hold Lego sets until they appreciate and value. Like we have the
Oh my
Black Pearl.
gosh.
It's worth like $1,000 or whatever. And I'm like,
Wow.
this is just weird. Like
Holy cow.
I thought I was the only Lego guy here, but everybody has their own experience. So he's like, oh, I hate them. I hate stepping on them. I just wish I could glue them together. One guy's like, I wish they were magnetic so I could vacuum them up and they wouldn't get stuck in the vacuum. But yeah, I'm just going on a tangent. What I like about Legos, I like building them, taking them apart. If I want them back on display, I'll build them back again. But it's all about the minifigures. So if you don't get the minifigures right, I will complain. And you don't like it. You won't like it when I complain.
Really? Okay. Well, we've seen you at your peak of that.
But yeah. Anyways, how final note maybe. How's the Lego culture? You said there was a Lego store down there in Mexico, or how's the Lego culture down there?
Yeah, I wish I had more data to pull from. There is a Lego store too in Mexico City, and I mean, we were able to find things in the where we got the Harry Potter one was just in a store in the mall, like a toy store. So they had Mega Blocks and a bunch of other toy brands all mixed in there. So I don't know if I would say it's that much different from the US. What I have noticed though, especially at like Walmarts and stuff that I've been to, each time that I've been here, is the selection is typically pretty small, and the actual set sizes are also pretty small. So, being the relationship that the dollar and the peso have right now, it makes sense that Lego is already super expensive in Europe, and then it's okay. It's a little less expensive in the States, but still, it's a premium product, right? So if people are going to buy their kids a toy, you're probably not going to shell out tons of money for the Temple of the Endless Sea Ninjago, let alone Walmart is not, they're not going to stock that on their
Yeah.
shelves and take up a ton of other space that they could put up. I saw, a bunch of the smaller, more like $20, $30 sets, uh,
Yeah.
which are a lot more accessible to more people, right? So,
I was gonna say this: the cheaper brands, Mega Block. I mean, like some of the other ones. I'm just gonna say this right now. I've seen it through my own eyes. The plastic quality is actually bad. Like compared to Lego quality, it does not last. Like it starts shredding off on the edges. Even their like stickers that they use are just non-existent at a certain rate in time. I mean, Lego stickers aren't the best; they come off too, but it's just literally like just white for where the sticker was supposed to be. So I was gonna say that Lego is expensive, but it will last you generations and generations and generations if you take care of it. But sometimes you get what you pay for, because these cheaper brands are killing me sometimes. I've noticed when I was sorting my stepfamily's Lego bin, the difference between these two bricks. They didn't care if they had Mega Blocks or regular bricks, but you could tell the difference. I'm just going to say that.
oh, it's so true. It's so apparent. And I know Lego has their slogan is only the best is good enough, which maybe they should never have said, because I've seen that weaponized time and again by salty A-falls and T-falls and other people who want to complain about things. And of course, I've had gripes with pieces breaking, especially lime green bionicle hinge pin, ball joints, and the dark red pieces on the V19 Torrent. But that's besides the point, because like it's important that they have that goal. Only the best is good enough. Yeah, not everything is going to land there. Hopefully, though, that they can continue to push down that path. And of course, we're always going to find stuff to complain about. Some of that could be constructive. A lot of that probably isn't. But that's part of the fun, right? With engaging in any fandom is the discussion, and that's why we have this show.
Yeah, I never had any really problems with the bricks besides those dark red maroon ones, that one generation. But that was just a mistake. Like, you could complain that like a set is bad or the build is bad, but I don't think you really complain about like the plastic product like itself. You know, it's too
Right.
it's
typically
too
not.
it already stood the test of time, really. So, but yeah, it's fun to speculate. You know, even if you're complaining, there's people love speculation, like speculating about Smash Bros, video games. It's just fun to speculate. And speculate why. And ponder the question, what if?
How poetic. What an ending. You are now the Watcher.
Thank you.
You better get that set now. It's Kari Iron Man. Get the Watcher figure.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's the problem with those two mechs is they both just want the Red Skull. I just want the Watcher. So I'm just gonna get those minifigures separate because that's how I do it. But Ironmonger, I'm coming. With that being said, thank you.
Thank you very much.